Now keep subheading thread pools. The next subtopic what we have to discuss, thread pools, thread pools within bracket executor framework. Thread pools executor framework. Thread pools executor framework. Executor framework. Okay, thread pools executor framework. Okay, very simple terminology you people should aware. Sir, here do you know you may have connection pooling in the JDBC concept somewhere you may have. What is the need of going for connection pool? Simple word, simple, to improve performance. What is the reason is, every time whenever required to communicate with the database, creating a connection object, communicate with that, after completing close that connection. Every time open a connection, close the connection, is nothing but creating connection object every time. So may affect the performance of the system. Are you getting? May create performance problems, may create memory problems also. Every time create an object like. Instead of that, a pool of connection objects I will create at the beginning only. Whenever we require to communicate with the database, I can request a connection pool to give one connection. Now it will provide one connection. By using that I will communicate with that. Once my work got completed, immediately that connection will revert back to the pool. Are you getting? Will come back to the pool once again. So the same connection object we can use a multiple time, performance by default will be improved. Are you getting that? Replace the word connection with the thread. Okay, this same. Every time, for every independent job, create a separate thread, execute the job by that thread, and then terminate the thread. Is nothing but thread will enter into that state. Create a new thread, do the job, create a new thread, do the job, and then terminate that. Suppose 10 independent jobs are there, then how many threads we require to create is nothing but 10 threads we require to create. If 10 independent jobs are there, how many threads we require to create is nothing but 10 threads we require to create. But instead of that, sir, just I want to create a pool of 5 threads. Are you getting? I want to create a pool of 5 threads. Instead of creating a separate thread and terminating that thread every time, just whenever I have some jobs, I will submit these jobs to this pool. So in this pool, how many threads are there? 5 threads are there. So every thread is going to do some job. After completing, suppose 10 jobs are there but 5 threads. So after first 5 threads are going to perform 5 jobs. After completing, same set of threads will perform remaining 5 jobs. Are you getting? So a single thread can perform multiple independent jobs, so that performance of the system by default will be improved. Correct or not? Are you getting? Thread pool, what is the benefit? Don't create a separate thread for every independent job. Create a pool of threads and reuse the same threads for multiple jobs, so that performance of the system and memory utilization by default will be improved. Are you getting that? Now my question is how to create a thread pool. Next, how I can submit this job for the thread pool. Are you getting? Executor service. How I can create executor service. How I can submit my job for this executor service. Now everything is going to take care. My framework, executor framework, being a programmer, define the job and submit these jobs for the executor service. Do you know? So if I do this one manually, big code is going to be done, but instead of that is nothing but very simple we can able to do that. Are you getting? How we can is nothing but let me I will explain it. First add the theory. Keep subheading thread pools. Creating a new thread for every job. Creating a new thread for every job may create performance and memory problems. Creating a new thread for every job may create performance and memory problems. Performance and memory problems. Performance and memory problems. Next, to overcome this, we should go for thread pool. To overcome this, we should go for thread pool. We should go for thread pool. We should go for thread pool. Next now, thread pool. Next now, thread pool is a pool of already created threads. Thread pool is a pool of already created threads. Already created threads ready to do our job. Ready to do our job. Thread pool is a pool of already created threads ready to do our job. Ready to do our job. Ready to do our job. Next, Java 1.5 version. Java 1.5 version introduces thread pool framework. Introduces a thread pool framework to implement thread pools. To implement thread pools. To implement thread pools. To implement thread pools. Next, thread pool framework. Thread pool framework, also known as executor framework. Thread pool framework, also known as executor framework. Also known as executor framework. Executor framework. Okay. Next, sir, how we can create thread pool? Now observe this one. Sir, here this is the VN. Executor service. Here legend this one. Executor service is equal to executors dot new fixed thread pool of 3. 3 is nothing but, do you know what it means is I'm creating a thread pool where how many number of threads are there? 3 threads are there. Sir, I want 4, then replace 3 with 4. Sir, I want 10, replace 3 with 10 like. Sir, we can create thread pool by using this line. Okay, add. We can create a thread pool. We can create a thread pool as follows. We can create a thread pool as follows. As follows. Better try it. Executor service is equal to executor service is equal to executors dot new fixed thread pool of 3. 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 Okay. Now observe this one. So after creating, sir, I have runnable job. So our jobs usually runnable jobs should be executed by the thread. How I can submit runnable job to the executor framework? Sir, now a pool of 3 threads are ready. What I have to do on next? I have to submit my jobs to this framework. How we can? Is nothing but have you observed? Yeah, service dot submit method of job. This job is nothing but what? Runnable job. Class my runnable implements runnable like that. My runnable job is nothing but this one. Add. We can submit. We can submit a runnable job. We can submit a runnable job by using. We can submit a runnable job by using submit method. By using submit method. Runnable job by using a submit method. Okay, add. Better translate this one. Service dot submit of job. Service is nothing but executor service. Service dot submit of job. Service dot submit of job. Service dot submit of job. Next up, we can shut down. Next line, we can shut down executor service. Sir, my job already completed. Shut down the service. We can shut down executor service by using shutdown method. By using shutdown method. Service dot shutdown. Okay, like this. I hope you people can aware, right? Service dot shutdown. Better toilet within the box. Completed, right? Okay. Now here just observe, listen this one. Sir, I am taking how to just a simple demo program. Let me explain. Sir, now I am taking here, see, class my runnable, sir, implements runnable Java implements runnable, class my runnable implements runnable. Sir, here public void run method, run method, system.out.println, okay, SOP of thread dot current thread dot get name started the job, or so and so job got started. Okay, this is now 1 minute. Let me use the same terminology. Here see, here 1 minute. Here just have a look once. Here see, class print job implements runnable. Can you tell what I am doing? Anna? Print job means what? Just like my runnable. So print job. So string name I am taking, and here constructor I am taking constructor. Okay. So system.out.println so and so name, job started by the thread. Sir, Ravi job started by thread 0. Next Pavan job started by thread 1. Or some Shiva job started by thread 2 is nothing but like just I am taking that. And then sleep for 5 seconds. And after sleeping, so and so job completed by so and so thread. Okay, this is. Sir, all these things are nothing but what? Print job implements what? Runnable. Now let me create class executor demo public static void print. So my runnable array I created is nothing but print job is the runnable class. A group of runnable objects I created. Now print job of Durga, Ravi, Shiva, Pavan, Suresh, Anil, like. Are you getting? Sir, can you tell how many jobs are there? How many jobs are there? 6 jobs. Are you getting? 6 jobs are there. Now executor service is equal to executor dot new fixed thread pool of 3. For each print job in jobs in this array, service dot submit of job. Are you getting? Service dot submit of job. Next, after completing all jobs, boss, can you please shut down my service? Are you getting the thing? Very simple. Sir, think a bit. Executor service is not there, or executor framework is not there. Then what I have to do? My runnable R is equal to new my runnable. Thread T1 is equal to new thread of R. Next, my runnable R2 is equal to new my runnable. Thread T2 is equal to new thread of R. Then how many lines of the code I have to do? 6 threads I require to create. Then everything the programmer is required to do. But now we are not responsible to create threads, all these things. My executor service by default is going to take care. We are not responsible to start the thread. My executor service is going to take care. Are you getting right? Okay, this is service dot shutdown. All threads which are there in the pool by default will be terminated because the service job already completed, right? Are you able to understand? Now here how many threads are there? How many threads are there? 3 threads. How many jobs are there? 6 jobs. Now let me start with the 2 threads, or let me start with the 1 thread. Assume only 1 thread. My pool contain how many threads? 1 thread. But how many jobs are there? 6 jobs. The same thread is responsible to do the job one by one. Now observe this one. Here let me go for a simple example. Here what is this one? Executor demo. Java C executor demo.java. Yes, Java executor demo. Durga job started by thread pool 1 thread 1. Are you getting? Next, Durga job completed by thread pool 1 thread 1. After completing Durga job, next Ravi job. After completing Ravi job, Shiva job, like Pavan job. Are you getting? Durga, Ravi, Shiva, Pavan. Next Suresh, like Anil. Total how many jobs are there? 6 jobs are there. Anil job started by thread pool 1 thread 1, like Anil job completed. Are you getting? Sir, here how many pools are there? 1 pool. How many threads are there? 1 thread. But how many jobs are there? 6 jobs. Are you getting? Sir, oh, this much time I don't want. Let my pool contain 2 threads. Okay, now executor thread pool of 2. How many threads are there? Array, how many threads are there? 2. How many jobs are there? 6. So then single thread can perform, is required to perform how many jobs? 3 jobs. Are you getting? Now see this one. Okay, Durga job started by thread 1, Ravi job. So 2 jobs are executing simultaneously. Ravi job and Durga job completed. Now Shiva job and Pawan jobs are executing. Both are completed. Suresh and Anil jobs are executing. Both are going to complete. That's all. Are you getting? When compared with the last time, now the total job is performed within less time or not? Yes. Sir, I don't want 2 jobs, 2 threads. I want 3 threads. Then what I have to do is nothing but 3. Are you getting? Now observe this. Sir, 3 jobs already started. Next, after completing, next 3 jobs are going to start. And the 3 jobs are going to complete. Now, each thread responsible to perform how many jobs? 2 jobs. Each thread is responsible to perform 2 jobs. Sir, thread 1, assume that thread 1. Thread 1 is responsible for Durga job. Is there any other thread? Thread 1. Thread 1 is responsible to Suresh job. Are you getting? Suresh job is done by thread 1 and Durga job done by thread 1 only. Like a single thread can perform multiple jobs one by one. Now, sir, pool 4. My pool contains 4 threads. Then, can you tell 4 threads, 6 jobs. Then 3 threads compulsory is required to perform 3 jobs. Okay, 3. Next, 1 more thread extra. Is nothing but like. So what will happen? Next, 4 threads are there, 6 jobs. How the thing is going to be happen? 4 threads, 4 jobs completed. 4 threads, 4 jobs completed. And then remaining still 4 threads, but remaining are how many are there? 2 jobs only. Now remaining from the 2 threads is responsible to complete. So 2 threads can perform 2 jobs, can perform 4 jobs. Remaining 2 threads can perform 2 jobs. Are you getting right? Okay, this is. So 2 threads, 4 jobs. And each thread is going to perform how many jobs? 2 jobs, right? But 2 threads can perform 1 job like. Total 6 jobs will be. Can you please cross check? Now don't get confused, observe. First 4 threads, 4 jobs. Thread 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, can you tell which threads performed 2 jobs? Which threads performed 2 jobs? Thread 1 and thread 3. Okay, this is. Next, sir, I want 5. If I want 5, then how many threads is required to perform more than 1 job? Only 1 thread. Because 5 threads, 5 jobs. Only 1 job is the remaining. From next is nothing but only 1 thread is responsible to do more than 1 job. Are you getting? 5 jobs already started, man. Thread 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, all 4 jobs completed. Now, can you tell which thread performed 2 jobs? Thread 4. Have you observed? Your thread 4 is responsible to do Anil job. At the same time, thread 4 is responsible to do Pawan job also. I hope is the clear for all of you. Okay, this is nothing but what is the thread pool. Now observe, sir, if a thread pool service is not there, then who is the responsible to create a thread? Programmer. Who is the responsible to start a thread? Programmer is the responsible. But instead of that, my framework itself is responsible to do all my required job. Is nothing but executor. Framework or simple word is nothing but thread pool. Are you able to understand that? Okay, this take this example. So all these jobs are what? Runnable jobs. Because class my runnable implements runnable like. Take clearly. And the pool size better to take at the 3. Take clearly. Completed, right? Thread pools instead of doing our job. So instead of creating a thread on our own, I'm creating executor service which is going to take care executing my jobs. Print job array jobs is equal to new print job of Durga, Ravi, Shiva like. Completed, right? Completed, I hope. Completed, right? Executor service is equal to executors dot new fixed thread pool of 3 service dot shutdown. Completed, right? Okay, that's all. So here in this program, how many threads are there? 3. But how many jobs are there? 6 jobs. So 3 threads are responsible to execute how many jobs? 6 jobs. Add in the above example, 3 threads are responsible. In the above example, 3 threads are responsible. 3 threads are responsible to execute. 3 threads are responsible to execute 6 jobs. 3 threads are responsible to execute 6 jobs. 6 jobs. So that a single thread can be reused for. So that a single thread can be reused for multiple jobs. So that a single thread can be reused for multiple jobs. Can be reused for multiple jobs. For multiple jobs. Okay, that's all. Next. Here just observe, sir, where thread pool concept is applicable. Where this thread pool concept usually required. Best example, suppose I have one web application is there. Okay, I installed one web application. Now I'm sending multiple requests are going to come. Multiple requests are going to come. Okay, like, so do you know my web server, for every request a new thread will be allocated. That thread is responsible to process the request. Are you getting that? Okay, this. So in every web server or application server, a pool of threads will be there. Whenever a request is going to come, from that pool a thread is going to be allocated for this job. After completing this request processing, now the thread will come back to the pool. Okay, default thread pool size is 60 for most of the servers. Are you getting? Default thread pool size is 60. At a time, how many requests are going to be processed by my server is 60. If you want, you can customize in the server GUI console. There are some approaches are there anywhere, right? I hope you people can able to aware while designing web servers and application servers internally, which concept we are going to use is thread pool concept only. Clear, right? Okay, add. While designing web servers, note under note you can take. While designing web servers and application servers, while designing or developing, any word you can use. While developing web servers and application servers, while developing web servers and application servers, we can use a thread pool concept. We can use a thread pool concept. We can use a thread pool concept. Thread pool concept. That's all. I hope you people can aware. So what is the need of thread pool and for which purpose we can use a thread pool concept, right? Are you able to understand? Okay, so that's all. This is about what is the need. Okay, now the next subtopic, of course, related to thread pools only, right? So in the runnable case, sir, just observe in the runnable case, class my runnable, legend this one, class my runnable implements class my runnable implements what? Implements runnable. Next public void run method. Public void run method. Now whatever the job we are performing, this is. Now how to start this job? You know, normal approach is nothing but how to start this job. My runnable R is equal to new my runnable thread T is equal to new thread of what we have to do, T dot start. T dot start, normal approach. Whenever we start this thread, automatically this job is going to be executed. After completing this job, thread is going to be terminated. That's all. Are you able to understand? Okay, this is, sir, whenever we are calling T dot start, automatically this job will be performed. After completing this job, what will happen? My thread will be terminated, right? And what is the return type of run method? Void. After completing this job, my thread won't return anything to the caller. Correct or not, sir? It's not going to return. Thread is not return anything. Okay, this here. But sometime after completing our job, thread is required to return something to the caller. Is nothing but then we should go for callable instead of runnable. Are you getting? Observe the word runnable job. After completing the job, thread won't return anything. But callable job, after completing my job, thread will return something. That's why instead of runnable, what I have to take? Instead of runnable, what I have to take? Callable. Next, instead of run method, what I have to take? Call method. Next, instead of void, return type is what? Object. Are you getting? Object. So callable interface contain one method. Which method? Call method. Return type of call method is what? Object. Okay, but not void. Return type of run method is void. Run method return type void, but call. Next, there is one more flexibility, sir, within the run method. If there is any chance of raising checked exception, compulsory we have to keep what? Try, catch, and so on, like. But now that cinema is not there, happily for the call throws what? Exception also. That is what is the purpose of what? Callable. Are you getting? What is the difference between callable and runnable? Compulsory you people should be aware. In the case of callable, after completing the job, thread can return something. But in the case of runnable, after completing the job, thread won't return anything. Callable interface contain one method. What is that method? Call is the method. Runnable interface contain one method. What is that method? Run method. Call method return type is object. My call method can return anything, but run method return type is object. Run method return type is void. Thread won't return anything. Are you able to understand? When we should go for callable, when we should go for runnable, what is the difference between callable and runnable? Very important question for the interview room, right? Okay, this is. Okay, just so I hope you people can aware, right? What is the difference between callable and runnable, right? Next, here I'm going to create an array of callable objects. An array of callable objects, like, so my callable array C is equal to, like, you can define callable jobs. Is nothing but like an array, just like our print job. Here 6 jobs I'm going to take. What I will take, let me create executor service. Service is equal to executors dot, what is this one? New fixed thread pool of 3. Okay. Next, for each callable job, C1 in C. Okay. Can you tell what I have to do? Service dot submit of C. Service dot submit of C1. Sir, just in the case of runnable, I'm not expecting any return type. That's why just service dot submit of job. But in the case of callable, am I expecting some return type or not? Yes. How we can hold that return value? By using future object. Future R is equal to like. Are you able to get? Future R is equal to like. Sir, can you tell what is the purpose of future? Future object we can use to hold the returned value in the case of callable. Sir, if I execute callable job, then after completing the job, my thread returns something. To hold that returned value, which object must be required? Future object is required. Yes, I got return. Then system.out.println r.get. Boss, what about its value? Get. Is nothing but now that return value by default we are going to get. Okay. Assume my callable job is to find the sum of some 100 numbers and return that. then automatically the sum of that 100 numbers, whatever the value, now I'm going to print. So simple word, right? So can you tell what is the purpose of future object? We can use future object to hold the returned value in the case of callable job. So what is the difference between callable and runnable? Can you spell out? In the case of runnable, after completing the job, thread won't return anything, but in the case of callable, after completing the job, thread return something. Is it clear for all? To hold that returned value, which concept is required? Future is required. Basic outline. Okay, I will execute one program so that you can get much clarity. First, keep submitting. Callable and future. Callable and future. Callable and future. Okay, yeah, the point. In the case of runnable job, thread won't return anything. Anything after completing the job. Thread won't return anything after completing the job. Thread won't return anything after completing the job. Job. Next, if a thread is required, to return some result, if a thread is required to return some result, after execution, then we should go for callable. Next, do you know callable interface contains how many methods, Anna? Callable interface contains how many methods? One method. What is that method? Call is the method. Add. Callable interface contains only one method. Only one method. Call. Better to take call. Only one method. Call. You add complete signature of that method. Okay, call. Complete signature. Public object call throws exception. Public object call throws exception. Throws exception. Next point. Add. If we submit a callable object to executor, if we submit callable object to executor, then after completing the thread, after completing the job, better to use after completing the job, thread returns an object of the type. Thread returns an object of the type. Can I spell out what is the object? Object of the type. Object of the type, which one? Future. Object of the type future. Object of the type future. Next, that is future object can be used. That is future object can be used to retrieve the result from callable job. Okay, that's all. Now legend this one from callable job. Like, sir, here I'm taking just one example. Here see, sir, take a bit special care. Class my callable implements callable. class my callable implements callable, int num instance variable I'm taking. Public object call throws exception. Public object call throws exception. System.out.println thread.current.thread.getName is responsible to find the sum of first n numbers. First n, whatever the number we specified, those are the sum of first 100 numbers, the sum of first 200 numbers, that number we will customize. Okay, now int sum is equal to 0. For int I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to num, sum is equal to sum plus I, return sum. Sir, first sum of first n numbers I'm trying to find. Okay, here see, my callable array jobs is equal to new my callable of 10. Sir, in the first case I want to find sum of first 10, sum of first 10 numbers. For the second job I want to find the sum of first 20 numbers, sum of first 30 numbers, 40 numbers, 50 numbers, 60 numbers and so on. Now executor service is equal to, okay, new fixed thread pool of 3. Sir, I am creating executor framework with three threads. For my callable jobs service.submit. After service.submit, it returns something. What is that one? Future. SOP of f.get method. Now that returned object, returned value, by default we can able to get service.shutdown. Are you getting that? Sir, can you tell how many jobs are there? How many jobs are there? 6 jobs. Can you tell what is the sum of first 10 numbers? Have you remembered? Sum of first 10 numbers, n into n plus 1 by 2. 10 into 11 by 2 is nothing but what? 55. Okay, sum of first 10 numbers 55, like we can. Now let me execute this code. Java C callable future demo.java. Next, Java callable future demo. Thread 1 pool 1 is responsible to find the sum of first 10 numbers. Sum of first 10 numbers 55. Thread 2 is responsible to find the sum of first 20 numbers, its value 210. Sum of first 30 numbers, its sum is 465. Sum of first 40 numbers 820. Sum of first 50 numbers 1275. Like, are you able to understand it? Sir, in the case of if the thread returns something, then we should go for what? Callable. If a thread won't return anything, then we should go for what? Runnable. Are you getting the difference, right? Okay, take this example. Take clearly. Observe the point well. Callable, runnable, when we should go for. What is the purpose of future object like? Take clearly. current thread dot get name is responsible to find the sum of first numbers like take clearly. Completed, right? Completed, I hope. Service dot submit of job like. Completed, right? Next one. Completed, right? So if you want, you can take the output, just better to take the numbers, that's all. So 55, 210, the sum of first 20 numbers 210, 465, 820, 1275, 1830. Only numbers, if you want, you can take 55, 210, 465, 820, 1275, 1830. Okay, now keep submitting. Differences between runnable and callable. Differences between runnable and callable. Differences between runnable and callable. Okay, sir, can you tell when we should go for runnable, when we should go for callable? Just legend this one. Sir, here if a thread not required to return anything after completing job, thread is not required to return anything after completing the job, then we should go for what? Runnable. If a thread required to return something after completing the job, then we should go for callable. Next, runnable interface contains how many methods, Anna? Only one method. Okay, runnable interface contain only one method, run method. Callable interface contain only one method. What is that one? Call method. Call method, right? Next, the return type of run method is what? Void, because it won't return anything. That's why void. Okay, but here return type is object, right? Okay, anyway, because callable job should require to return something. Okay, Now fourth one, listen carefully. Within the run method, if there is any chance of raising checked exception, sir, I'm calling sleep method, compulsory we should handle what? By using try catch. By using try catch. What is the reason is, sir, here observe, thread class is there, or runnable. Runnable interface method is public void run method, run, that's all. If I implement, while implementing public void run, throws exception like you can't take. What is the reason is, if the parent class doesn't throw any checked exception, parent class method doesn't throw, while overriding child class method should not throw. Regarding, there is a rule is there. Yeah, so if a child class method throws any checked exception, compulsory parent class method should throw that same checked exception or its parent. Like we have some rule, sir, parent doesn't throw anything, then that's why you can't have the choice. Then what is the way? Only we should go for what? Try. Okay, that's all, try catch only. But if it is a callable call method, we are not required to worry, because call method already keep what? Throws exception, right? Okay, so inside run method, if there is any chance of raising checked exception, compulsory we should handle what? Try catch. But inside call method, if there is any chance of raising checked exception, we are not required to use a try catch, because call method already keep what? Throws exception is there. Next, introduced in 1.0 version, runnable, introduced in 1.5 version. Yeah, the part of thread pools are executor framework. Okay, at this point, first point, if a thread is not required to return anything, if a thread is not required to return anything, if a thread is not required to return anything, not required to return anything after completing the job. If a thread not required to return anything after completing the job, if a thread is not required to return anything after completing the job, then we should go for runnable. Runnable. Next, if a thread, other side, if a thread required to return, something after completing the job, if a thread is required to return something after completing the job, then we should go for callable. Next, runnable interface contains only one method. Only one method. Can I spell out what is that method? Run. Next, callable interface contains only one method. Can I spell out what is that method? Call. Next, runnable job not required to return anything. Runnable job not required to return anything, and hence return type of run method is, return type of run method is void, void. Next, other side, void. Callable job is required to return something. And hence return type of call method is object. Okay, next, object. Next, within the run method, if there is any chance of raising checked exception, within the run method, if there is any chance of raising checked exception, within the run method, if there is any chance of raising checked exception, compulsory we should handle by using try catch. Compulsory we should handle by using try catch. Compulsory we should handle by using try catch because we can't use throws keyword for run method. Throws keyword for run method. Run method. Throws keyword for run method. Next one, other side. Inside call method or within call method, if there is any chance of raising checked exception, inside call method, if there is any chance of raising checked exception, any chance of raising checked exception, we are not required to handle by using try catch. We are not required to handle by using try catch. Because call method already throws exception. Call method already throws exception. Next point. Runnable interface present in where runnable interface present in java.lang package. Runnable interface present in java.lang package. Callable interface present in callable interface present in java.util. Concurrent package. Next, introduced in which version? Introduced in 1.0 version. Introduced in 1.0 version. Introduced in 1.5 version. 1.5 version. That's all. So these are the basic things you people should aware. What is the advantage of thread pools? How to create a thread pool? What is executor framework? Next, what is the need of callable, future? Difference between callable and future. The basic idea, that's all. So I didn't explain even API level anything, just the basic idea. That's my intention, right? Okay, that's all.